Hello, fellow heirs. Welcome back. Hey, today I got to give a testimony to our Father up in heaven. Sometimes we don't hear enough testimonies. I hear all the time, you know, we need prayer for this. I need prayer for that. Please pray for this. Please pray for that. But sometimes I want to hear some testimony. And I think God enjoy when we testify to his goodness and what he has done. You know, so I come to give you guys a testimony today just to let you know how good God is, just to spread the word, just to encourage someone who is going through a tough time, who has a Goliath situation in their life, just to let them know that God can work it out. But anyway, this past Sunday, we went to church as usual. And at the end of the sermon, our pastor told us that at the end of the sermon, kind of stick around because he wanted to talk to us about something. And so we had no clue about what it was. But anyway, at the end of the sermon, we stayed seated, and he was telling us that the city was wanting this piece of property that our church owned behind the church. And he was talking about how, somebody had tried to buy that property. It's like 4.8 acres. And he said somebody had approached the church to buy that property 2 years ago, I believe. And he said they offered $1 million per acre. And then they came back next year because our church said, no, we don't want to sell the land. We might, even though we're not doing anything with it right now, that we may decide to do something later on with it. And then, there's no property to build on. So we want to hold on to that land right now. So they came back the next year. They offered the same thing. And our church was like, no. The board, everybody decided, no, we still want to keep the land. We're not sure. We might want to develop on it one day, so on and so forth. So they turned down that offer again. And so the city decides that it wants to purchase that land. And the city offered our church $350,000 for that land. Well under the value of that land. And they said because the land isn't buildable, because a lot of it is flood land. And it sounds pretty funny because the previous offers was by one particular developer, and if a developer is going to pay $1 million per acre, a developer, so apparently that developer can build on it, and they see how valuable the land. But the city just wanted to give our church $350,000. But again, our church turned it down because they were like, no, we don't want to sell this land. We want to hold on to it. And so they decide to proceed, take the route of eminent domain. So they're going back and forth with our church. However, they set very short time period. Okay, this is going to be done in 30 days, the whole process. And you got to this date to decide this. And then, and then we're going to move to the next step. So our pastor was saying every time they would, tell him a process he had to go through, it just seemed like they were not giving him a long enough period of time. And by the time he would get back to them, I believe he was saying it was too late because they didn't really give him a long enough time to prepare everything. When you're fighting against the government or the city, there are processes that you have to go through And most people don't go through those processes every day. So it's like a learning experience when something like this happens to somebody. But anyway, to make a long story short, they they decided that they were going to go on with the eminent domain. So this is where our pastor was saying, "Hey, we got a meeting. We got a meeting with them next Monday, which would have been this Monday coming up. But what I want you guys to do is to send an email to the mayor and let them know that, you know, or voice your opinion of, you know, that you don't want the city to take that land through eminent domain." And he was like, and be nice about it, because, you know, we are children of the Lord and we don't want to give off, you know, any type of wrong impression, or to act, you know, foolish or devilish and not really be a good representative of Christ, you know. So that's, you know, so that was the process this week for us to send an email to the mayor's office, to the mayor. But as of yesterday, one of the pastors at the church posted on Facebook that there was going to be a meeting happening today, June 8th at 8 a.m. about the city ceasing their obtainment or process of attainment of this land. And so that happened. And so around 9 something, our pastor posted a video saying that, you know, they squashed it, that they're not going to take the land. They're going to forget about the land. And he said, you know, it was a very good meeting that they had, and everybody came out happy and friendly. And, you know, and they decided they would work together when they could, you know, the city and the church and anything, you know, that they could work together with the city, you know, we would, and things like that. So God is so awesome, because, you know, we were praying about that. And I didn't get to write in the letter. I sure didn't. But before I could even write the mayor, all these balls were rolling. The balls was rolling. Seemed like God put a cork, or put a screw in the gears, or a stick in the gears, and he stopped it, and then he started reversing it. So I just want to give glory to God about that. I just think that was so awesome for God to do, and to do it so quickly. You know, God is so awesome. So, you know, when you're fighting against the state or the government or city or something, that it seems like, you know, you're just, sometimes it seems like the battle is so mighty, you know. It's like a Goliath battle, David and Goliath, but our God is mightier than anything, anybody, any government, any country on earth. He's more powerful than that. So this is a good example of, you know, turning things over to him, especially when we've done all that we can, you know, and even before we've done anything, to turn it over to him, to find out which direction we should go in. And then when we exhausted what we can do, just sit back and watch the Lord work. So I'm going to end this video right here. I hope that this encourages someone today. And if you know anyone in a similar situation, please pass this on to them so that they can hear that God is still at work. He might be sitting on the throne, yes, but he's still very much involved in our day-to-day living. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time, and have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye.